Today, we're going to dive into something that might seem a little counterintuitive. We're talking about an intervention for teen mental health that's powerful and, well, pretty surprising: the disciplined world of boxing. We're going to explore how a sport like this, especially the way it's taught at places like the Equal Chance Boxing Foundation, can be a game changer for the teenage brain.
So let's just start with a question that I know is on so many parents' minds. You see your teen struggling, right? But it can feel almost impossible to get a handle on the insane pressures they're facing, especially in a world that feels so chaotic and unpredictable all the time.
And here's the reality. Today's teens are navigating a really unique and often silent mental health crisis. They are absolutely buried under academic pressure. They're more isolated behind screens than ever before, and it's the parents who are usually the first to spot the warning signs.
And these signs probably look pretty familiar, don't they? That withdrawn posture, the shoulders slumped forward. Those sudden spikes of irritability that seem to come out of nowhere. A social anxiety that's almost paralyzing. And just this deep, profound lack of self-worth that leads them to retreat behind a screen. These aren't just teen moods. They're red flags telling us something deeper is going on.
So, what do we do about it? Well, a lot of parents find that the usual advice, just go outside and play, just isn't cutting it. It turns out there's often a key missing ingredient. And that ingredient? It's structure.
What's so fascinating about this is the contrast it lays out. See, for a teen battling anxiety, unstructured time can actually be a danger zone. It's where their thoughts start to spiral, where negative influences can creep in. But a structured sport, it's the complete opposite. It provides this safe, predictable world with clear rules and immediate goals. It's a space where a kid knows exactly what's expected of them, and that is incredibly calming.
But, and this is a big but, not all organized sports are the same. I mean, think about the pay-to-play culture we have now. So many youth leagues have become so hyper-competitive and so expensive that they end up just piling on more pressure, not relieving it.
And this brings us to a really crucial point. Because the benefits we're talking about aren't just in their head. They are deeply, fundamentally biological. When a teen is stuck in an anxiety loop, their brain is just swimming in the stress hormone cortisol. It keeps their internal alarm system stuck in the on position. Rigorous exercise can literally hit the reset button on that chemical imbalance.
So here's how it actually works. First, that intense physical workout literally burns through and flushes out all that excess cortisol. It just breaks the anxiety feedback loop. Second, as they start to master a new skill, their brain releases dopamine and endorphins, the feel-good chemicals that create a natural high. And third, a sport like boxing is like a moving meditation. You physically cannot worry about your chemistry test when you're focused on throwing a perfect jab. It forces the anxious brain to take a break.
Okay, so we've covered the brain chemistry. But beyond that, let's talk about how boxing builds a completely different kind of strength. It has this unique way of taking insecurity apart, piece by piece, and building real, unshakable self-esteem from the ground up. And it all rests on these three pillars. First, individual accountability. You can't hide on the bench in boxing. Your success is yours and yours alone. Second, it totally shifts a teen's focus from how their body looks to what their body can do. It becomes a tool, not just an image. And finally, mastering something that is genuinely hard gives them concrete, undeniable proof that they are competent.
And that is the ultimate psychological payoff. That one simple realization, I am capable of doing extremely hard things, that becomes their new core belief. It's the foundation of a confidence that they can take with them literally anywhere, long after they've left the gym.
The teenage years are just full of these huge, messy emotions, right? Well, boxing gives them a safe, supervised container to physically work through feelings like anger and frustration. A heavy bag can take all of that energy, and in the process, they learn a vital lesson. A wild, angry fighter is a bad fighter. They learn to channel that raw emotion into calm, focused power.
But here's the thing. The sport itself is only one part of the story. The environment where it's all happening and the mentors in that environment, that's just as critical. This is where you get these powerful ideas like the third space and real mentorship.
So there's this concept in psychology called the third space. It's basically a place that isn't home and isn't school, where a kid can figure out who they are on their own terms. And for so many, a great boxing gym becomes that sanctuary. And the coaches? They're not parents, they're not teachers, they're these trusted role models who demand hard work, and in return, they give you their unwavering support. It's a powerful combination.
Of course, I know what every parent is thinking. Is it safe? Well, the Equal Chance Boxing Foundation runs on what they call a brain-first philosophy.
Get this, the vast majority of their program involves zero physical contact with another person. The real focus is on footwork, conditioning, discipline, and bag work. It's all engineered to maximize the psychological benefits while being incredibly careful about managing risk.
And you can see how well this approach is working when you just look at the numbers. The foundation has already trained over 500 young people, giving them this incredible outlet in mentorship.
And look at this, a 95% program completion rate. That is just staggering. And that number tells you everything we've just talked about. The structure, the mastery, that supportive third space. It creates an environment that kids don't want to leave. They show up because they want to be there.
And here's maybe the most important number of all. The foundation got rid of the single biggest barrier for most people. All the training, all the gear is provided at zero cost. That takes all the financial pressure off families and makes sure this incredible support gets to the kids who need it the most, no matter what their family's income is.
So when you pull it all together, you've got the biological reset of the brain, the psychological confidence building, and this incredibly supportive, safe environment. You end up with something really powerful. This is so much more than just learning a sport.
And this really is the whole point. The skills they learn inside those ropes are direct metaphors for life outside of them. When a teenager learns how to push through physical exhaustion to finish one more round, what they're really learning is the resilience they need to fight for their own mental health out in the real world.
So it all leaves us with this one final thought. In a world that can feel so overwhelming, what if the best defense we can possibly give a teenager is the skill, the discipline, and the unshakable confidence to truly fight for themselves?